Well, it's been an interesting week to say the least, especially if you're a fan of the Bills. First, I want to say happy birthday to my brother, and any of my Jewish friends out there who watch, have a good Hanukkah, because it begins tonight at sunset. First of all, I do want to call your attention to what I said about the Bills. You know, it's always pretty good watching old school football like that, as you don't see that much with these stadiums that have climate controls, especially when the rain pours down. You have all of these things that drain the water away and everything. They don't play the game in the mud and the slop much anymore. But you kind of like it when you go to these stadiums that are up in the north. Stadiums like New Era Field, stadiums like Gillette Stadium, and others, where when the snow flies, it always is a pretty cool thing to watch, 'cause it's back to old school football at its finest. That's what it was with Buffalo and Indianapolis. See, Indianapolis didn't have the creature comforts of its dome. You had to play out there in the snow. And boy, that lake effect band that came off of Lake Erie made for such a sight. Yep, old school football at its finest. And you could tell all of those players had fun making snow angels, trying to keep their footing, and also on the punts, where the ball went plop and it didn't bounce around like it does usually on punts. But you know, it was pretty good there for the Bills. Hell, I almost thought it was going to be typical vintage of the last 18 years. You know, Buffalo always finds a way to lose, but this time Adam Vinatieri didn't have his magic. He missed a field goal that would have won it for Indianapolis in regulation. And then they played in overtime, and Buffalo made that controversial decision to punt when it was Indianapolis's 42 on 4th and 1. People like me felt like, you know, maybe we could get the momentum, we got the snow, let's go for it. But instead, McDermott punts. It worked out for the best anyway, because Shady McCoy kept his footing on his way to the end zone, and a 13-7 overtime win, which keeps Buffalo's playoff hopes alive. But after watching Miami beat New England, you gotta wonder, is Miami gonna come into Orchard Park and do the same? Although this time I don't think there's gonna be much snow this Sunday. It's expected to be in the almost 40 degrees. Downright balmy for this time of year. But whatever, it was fun watching that, and fun watching the Army-Navy game play in those conditions. A 14-13 Army win, much to the chagrin of my cousin, 'cause I kinda wish Navy could have won for him. But I digress. That was old school football at its finest. And now I'm gonna go from talking about that to talking about the Orange. Yep, pretty good week for the Orange basketball team. First, a win against our good friends, UConn, and then we decided to go brush our teeth on Saturday against Colgate. Although I will say the Raiders gave us a little bit of a game. Yes, we couldn't go like we usually do at Colgate, but those Raiders were pretty game, but eventually we stepped on them. A big couple of wins, and we got a big game coming up Saturday. Yes, our old friends from Georgetown come this Saturday, and for the first time, one of Georgetown's all-time greats is now the coach. Yes, Patrick Ewing is going to be against Syracuse as the coach for Georgetown. Well, you know what? We still think about when he was part of that team, as John Thompson said, Manley Fieldhouse is closed. Well, you know what? Manley Fieldhouse is open, for parking, that is. But whatever, we'll make you eat those words this Saturday, Mr. Ewing. And let's have a good game, Orange. I mean, it's, even after Geno Thorpe left the program, looks like we're doing pretty good. This team may be better than what people say. Keep it going, Orange. Now I'm going to go from talking about the Bills and the Orange to talking about big news coming from the Olympic Committee. Yes, Russia has pretty much been banned from the upcoming Winter Olympics. Yeah, the IOC said the Russian Olympic team can't go because of their offenses of state-sponsored doping. You know, that was a great in-your-face moment to the guy who you can always spit when you say his name. Yeah, Vladimir Putin. That's how you can say it. Even after Russia dumped $51 billion into getting Sochi ready for the last Winter Olympics. That was a big in-your-face by the IOC to Russia. Although the Russian team can still compete as independent athletes, it just won't have the same aura. And of course, there's part of me that is wondering about Pyeongchang and its security. Pyeongchang is only 50 miles from the demilitarized zone between North and South Korea. But, you know, South Korea says they got enough security there and they got enough measures that if Kim Jong-un and his cronies there for North Korea try something, they'll be ready. But, you know, I'm just really worried. I'm hopeful that this Olympics can go like they've been doing. The Olympics haven't had a major problem in a long time, and it's in a hot zone. Of course, Sochi was in a hot zone 4 years ago, being not too far from the border with Georgia, and their problems with South Ossetia and its other breakaway republics. But I digress. Big move by the IOC, and let's hope that this sends a message to, hey, state-sponsored doping, like what East Germany did all those years ago in the 70s, ain't gonna fly. And now I'm gonna go from talking about that to talking about one of the most disgusting things I had ever heard. It just seems as though Brockport has got a problem with a fraternity that apparently isn't sponsored or whatever, certified by the university for some of its most disgusting things that it's doing with its pledges. Yes, 9 members of this fraternity were arrested. Apparently, some of the things they did to initiate new members are beyond subhuman, if you know what I mean. I'll spare you the details of the concoction they were forced to eat, but I mean, a couple of the things they did. One of it, they broke a pledge's arm, a compound fracture, and they made him wait in the basement of their home. And they said, you're going to take the pain. And secondly, some of the pledges were made to urinate in a hole in the basement till the basement flooded with urine. And another one that I saw is they were charged with sort of a rule that New York State has when it comes to cruelty to animals, especially with a rat. Let's just say they detailed it, if you know what I mean. And also, they've hit it on the head with a hammer, passed the dying rat around, says, this is what happens if you don't play by the rules. Well, you know, there's some things that are beyond subhuman. I mean, some people want to join frats because they want to be part of a brotherhood when they go to college. But they shouldn't be doing demeaning and dehumanizing things like this. I hope these frat brothers get what they deserved. Because some of the ones that are charged, that is. Because some of it is beyond disgusting. And 2 of the frat brothers look like refugees right from out of Animal House. I was half expecting one of these to go, how's it feel to be an independent, Schoenstein? How's it feel to be an asshole, Niedermeyer? What'd he say? You know, that's what I figured. You know, shouldn't come to that. Shame on you guys. And that's all I have the time for this week. I'm Ken Haas, and it was a great It's a Wonderful Life celebration. See you next year.